Sri Krishna, Sri Krishna, Sri Krishna, Sri Krishna. Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Science is meant for everyone. Like the law of gravity. It is not limited to some persons in some place at some time in the history of life. No. It is applicable to everything and being. No, it is innocent child, she didn't know, and therefore she looked outside from the 10th floor and she fell down. This law of gravity is very cruel. No. It is applied to everybody. That which is established, keeping in view the totality, without any bias, is called a spiritual life. Anything which involves some criteria, see, and the criteria are based on three factors: time, space and object. See, some objects are holy, unholy. Sometimes are auspicious, non-auspicious. Some places are holy, not holy. Therefore, when we talk about spirituality, we have to transcend these limitations. Unless these limitations are transcended, we are far away from spirituality, and that distance is indicated by the words called as religion. I was in one university in India, and the Vice Chancellor asked me, I had 3 lectures there, and he asked me, please talk on religion, philosophy and spirituality. So after the 3rd talk was over, then I said, now whatever we have been talking for last 3 days, I shall summarize all the talks in one line. Then why did you talk for 3 days? Just time pass. So I summarized that. First I asked the students to summarize, and they started telling too many things. I said, no. Summary should be really short and should convey everything. So the summary was, in religion there is no God, in philosophy there is no wisdom. Where God and wisdom coexist is spirituality. See? Under the name of religion, the most ungodly things happen. Under the name of philosophy, the most foolishness happens. So these 2 factors, God and the philosophy, when it joins together, then it becomes spirituality. See, friends. Therefore, we all have to think, how can we practice spirituality? And the problem is, none of the instruments of knowledge which are at our disposal, they are valid and operational on the spiritual path. See? For example, let us take our sense organs. Now the truth being, the reality being beyond all attributes, Therefore, when something doesn't have a color and a form, eyes become important. See? Like the space. Space doesn't have color or form. Therefore, to see the space, eyes are important, not valuable. The space doesn't have any smell. So you can't smell the space. No. See? This space cannot be touched. So we cannot use the skin, the organ of touch. See? Organs of action also cannot operate on the space. You can't hold on the space. See, friends. Now, this space creates so much problems for us. So how to tell what the space is? In one school, I was talking to the kids in India, and just to make them understand, I told them, took some soil. I said, see, this is earth element. So on the table, I spilled some soil, earth element. Understood? Yes, Swami. Very good. Then took little water. This is the element water. Understood? Yes. Then the lamp. This is the element fire. Yes. Then the air. How to show the air to the children? So I told them, do like this on your own palm. So they did. What did you feel? That is air. Then the question came about space. How to tell them what is space? So I told them, what do you see in between my fingers? That is space. Now our lectures, everything was over, and other things were also through. I went to somebody's house for breakfast after the lecture. And one child from the same house also had come for that talk. So the mother asked, what did Swamiji teach you? So the child do you know there are 5 elements? You never told us. Swamiji knows everything. You know nothing. And then the child started telling, see, I'll tell you. We were sitting on a dining table. He went outside, got soil and spoiled the dining table. This is earth. Then whatever water was there, he poured on the table. This is water. And I was afraid whether he burned something or what. So he said, see that lamp, that is the lamp before the God, that is fire. Then Mummy, do like this. Whatever I told, only they had to do the same thing. Do like this. You feel something, that is air. Now came the space. So he was frustrated. Swamiji, will you please do something for me? Yes. Do like this. You told us in the class, and it like this. Mummy, that which is in between the fingers of Swamiji is space. See what is his understanding? See, friends, when we have to understand that, know that where the organs of action, organs of perception, the mind, the intellect doesn't operate. See? As you start becoming subtler and subtler, our faculties become more and more important. If we have to write an article on earth, we can fill pages. If we have to write on waters, the number of pages will be less. If we have to write on fire, it will be still less. If we have to write on air, it will be still less. If you have to write something on space, what will you write? See? And this space creates these problems. Explain what is the space is. And therefore, when we are coming to this point, what is the truth? The truth cannot be comprehended through sense organs, organs of action, mind or intellect. But normally what happens? In religion and philosophy, they either conceptualize or conditioned. Conditioned understanding is a bondage. Therefore, when we enter spirituality, the language is totally different. It is unlike the language of religion and philosophy. So what is religion? Religion takes this world as real and ourselves to be the body as real. See? So these two things are accepted blindly. That this world is real and I am the body that is real. And thereafter, on the basis of this fundamental error, everything is done. Till such time this error is corrected, whatever you may do, it is just only a burden. But we are still living at that level. So what is told? Then we are told, live in this world in such a manner that you are not a problem for others and don't take others as a problem for you. Let there be loving coexistence. See? Because we are all the expressions of the same. But who can think in this line? He who is ready to change himself. If a person is not ready to change himself, he cannot be taken to the spiritual path. Then we are told, look here, the 5 elements of which the body of a man is made, the same 5 elements go into the manufacture of the woman's body. The same 5 elements which have created the human body, the same 5 elements are required for creating the animal body. What is the difference? See, life is same. So the body, where the life is expressed, that body is the same, the life is the same. Where are the differences? But what happens? Ignorant that we are, we focus on the differences and not on the common factor. See? Until such time it continues, religion will prosper and there will be more division and more fighting. See, friends, therefore religion tells us, Yasmanno dvijate lokaha, lokanno dvijate chayaha. He who is not a problem for others and he who doesn't take others as a problem for him, he is walking the religious path. Live and let live. And this can happen only through wisdom, through understanding. If I have to get my heart operated, for example, one of my ammas, she told me one day, she said, Swamiji, you will never have a heart problem. I said, thank you very much. He said, you did ask why? I said, why should I ask? You bless me. No. You will not have a heart problem because you don't have a heart. You never become emotional on any issue. Therefore, you will not have a heart problem. Now, suppose I have to get my heart operated. Will I go in search of a person that he should be a Hindu, he should be a sannyasi, he should be following Bhagwan Krishna, he should have done the japa, he has taken the bath in Ganges? Will I do that? My attention will be, he should be a qualified, efficient doctor. See, friends, the religion doesn't come in the way. Because there we know this has nothing to do, because it is common factor. See? One example I had given in some of my talks. One day, one of my very good couple friend, in some hill station, both of them were very close to me. That girl's name was Catherine and his name was Unak or Enoch, something like that. Catholics. And one day he was just a taxi driver. He has never come for my talks, and except we were very good friends. So one day he saw me going somewhere and he said, he used to call me Sadhu Baba. Sadhu Baba, your Catherine has delivered a baby. I said, okay, give my congratulations to her. And the moment I get time, I'll come and see her. Then that evening, after my lecture was over, he was waiting outside. I was surprised. Hey, how come you are here? He started crying. He said, see, she is bleeding profusely and we don't know what to do. I said, what is the great about it? Call her mother, father, somebody's blood will match and give her. No, they came, but they say we cannot give blood. That is not in our religion. I said, no, pray to Lord Jesus. My blood matches with her. As God wanted, it matched. And the blood was given and she survived. Then after about 15 days or so, I went and saw her. I said, hey Kathy, how are you? She said, thank you so much, I would have died, but for you, blah, 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 blah. I said, nothing simple, you make a nice coffee and give me, and then we'll talk. So when I was taking coffee, then I asked her. I said, Kathy, tell me, bottle is Catholic, liquor is Hindu. Which religion? That which talks about division is not religion. And it is only because the foundation is erroneous. See, my friends. And to get out of that, the rules are common for everybody. Like the traffic rules are common for everyone, is it not? It is not. Ladies can drive on any side and gents have to drive properly. No, although they do so. See, one truck driver was caught by the police and he was in the court. And he was asked, you dashed that lady from backside in her car. Is it right? He said, yes, it is right. He said, sir, but before you give me some punishment, I want to ask you one question, if you allow me. Yes, yes, you can ask. He said, look here, what happened? She showed the direction right. She is turning. And you know, she turned right. Is it my fault? So the judge said, you are forgiven. Friends, traffic rules are common for everyone. In the same manner, the rules of life are common for everyone. See? But instead of seeing this common factor, we keep on getting divided under the disguise of religion. See, friends. Therefore, to get into the spiritual path, we have to rise above this. And how do we rise above this? Is only one way. Focus attention on the commonalities and not on the differences. See? In a school, I was talking to the children on this principle. And to tell them, just to invoke the children and participate, I asked them. I said, hey, today we'll play something, okay? So all the children are enthusiastic. If you give a lecture, they get bored. I said, okay, let us start. Please tell, I'll ask only that student will talk. Tell what are the differences among all of us. We are sitting together. What are the differences? You tell, there are some boys, some girls differences. Now you tell, some are tall, some are short, differences. You tell, some are fat, some are thin, differences. Some are black, some are white, differences. So many. I said, now enough. Now tell, what is the common factor? Everybody was silent. And there was one child who was totally indifferent to everything. So I asked, hey, you tell, what is the common factor in all of us? He said, we are all suffering because of you. See, friends, what is the common factor in all of us? We are all alive. See, friends, if our attention is focused on life, then as I feel hungry and I have the pangs of hunger, and if I identify with this life principle, I will also appreciate the miseries a hungry person goes through and share with him. And it's not the person. Life is everywhere. Whether it is human beings or animals. See, friends, therefore, religion is a religion if it helps us rise above the differences and come to the common denominator called as life. And this can happen only if we open our eyes, mind, and see through the eye of wisdom. All anatomies are same. It is not that in the anatomy of a man, the heart is on the left side and for the ladies it is on the right side or there is no heart. No, it's common. All the veins carry blood, not Coca-Cola. Common everywhere. So religion is meant only to help us recognize the common denominator. If that is not happening, it is not religion. See? Then second thing comes the philosophy. Now what the philosophy tells? Philosophy helps us think properly. Most of the problems are born out of wrong thinking. Not thinking do not create problem. Wrong thinking creates the problem. Like in the deep sleep we don't think. So there are no problems. When we sleep we stop thinking, and then because of our snoring our partner is getting disturbed. We don't worry about it because I am not thinking. Then what I am doing? Only the Saregama starts. Krrr, 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 krrr. No thinking. So philosophy helps us come out of wrong method of thinking. So the religions, what is the moral of the story of this religion? This, what we just now discussed. Now we go to the philosophy. See, what philosophy does? Philosophy helps us analyze your experiences and learn from them. All the problems are born because of wrong thinking. There are no problems because of no thinking. Wrong thinking creates the problem. So what the philosophy tells us? Philosophy teaches us, look here. When you talk about yourself, that I am miserable, who is this I about whom you are talking? Of course, I, the man, On what ground you say you are a man? Everybody tells me that I am a man. Everybody also tells that you are a fool. Do you accept? Then we start thinking slowly. When I am identified with the body, then I am a man. If I am not identified with the body as a deep sleep, that time I am neither a man nor a woman, neither young nor old, neither South African nor Indian. Think. All the problems are born after body identification. When there is no body identification, there is no world. Now, this thought process by the philosophy convinces us logically, but difficult to digest and practice. See? So first, philosophy prepares a foundation on which the edifice of spirituality is built up. See? But if the philosophy is destructive, then that will be the kind of imaginary spirituality. See? And this is how the differences become wider and wider. But if the philosophy is that we are all, whatever we may be, when identified with the body, then only this world comes into existence. You don't have to trust. You have to only watch your own experiences. Trust in yourself. Without practicing this philosophical approach, we simply go blindly. And then that blindness creates problem. So what does philosophy told us? Like one lady asked me this question, Swamiji, when the world is created, who created this world? And how long the world is? Where from the world begins? All the questions about the world. So I said, you created the world. When did you create the world? When you were identified with the body. Then, where from the world begins? The world begins from your body. And where the world ends? The world ends when you are not identified with the body. Think. Then we are given further understanding in philosophy. This body with which we move in this world, is this body created by us? We have not created our body. So who has the first right on the body? The creator, the owner of the body. See, friends, so when we know the body is created by our parents, so who has the first right on the body? Our parents. Therefore, our life must have this philosophical approach that we have to serve our parents till they are alive or we are alive. See, friends, philosophy gives you the solid rock foundation to lead the religious life properly. See, in this manner, when we accept this, and there is nothing that you can contradict, nobody can contradict this. Thereafter, we step in the spiritual life. And in spiritual life, now there are two things only, not a third thing. First step is freedom from body identification. Because after body identification only the world is created. See, this is my regular experience because I keep on moving from place to place. So wherever I go and sleep, I always keep the lights on and sleep. And they ask, Swamiji, why do you keep the light on? I said, because I can see the dreams properly. Because I don't know where I am, which side is the bathroom, where I have to go. Because in the deep sleep, I was not identified with the body, therefore I was nobody. Where I am, when I am, what for I am, nothing is known. The moment you are identified with the body, the world begins. Many times it happens. When I get up, I had to find out where I am. Now what I have to do next. See? So when you thus start becoming aware of this phenomena, then you will one day by God's grace get convinced that the world is created the moment we are identified with the body. So the worldly problems can be dissolved only by disidentification from the body. Now from here, the real spiritual life begins. If this is happening, then whatever you do, religion, philosophy, yoga, upasana, the social service, charity, donation, whatever you do, if this leads to freedom from body identification, then we are following the spiritual path. If this is not happening, then whatever we do is not a spiritual path. See, friends. Therefore, this principle is brought out in every religion by a simple thing called as the life continues after the body is dropped. We don't die. That's why there is a phrase, dead and gone. The body died and the embodied gone. He doesn't die. See? And therefore, the principle of death, as we see in Hinduism, last life, this life, next life. Three things. What does it mean? What is the moral? Why this topic is brought in religion? Only for this purpose. We are all expert in blaming others for all our problems. We are all expert. If I am a husband, the cause of my misery is my wife. Simple. If I am a mother, cause of my misery is my children. If I am a daughter-in-law, cause of my misery is my mother-in-law. What will be the spiritual practice of such a person? Husband will try to improve wife. This can never be successful. Because you can't change others. Therefore, the first step on the real spiritual path is we have to change, not the world. But normally what happens is this. In one place after my talk, one lady came and told, Swamiji, today's talk was so good and it was a perfect talk for my daughter-in-law. You please come to our house and you tell her. I said, Amma, you came on your own. You heard me. And yet you don't want to change yourself. And you want me to tell to that girl who doesn't want to hear and expect she will change. See, my friends, therefore, when we graduate out of the religion and philosophy and enter on the spiritual path, the first lesson is we have to change. If we have the driving license, the traffic on the road will not be controlled. You have to control the vehicle. See? But when we don't understand this, we become agitated and react. A spiritual person doesn't react. He only acts. Like one NRI came from somewhere to India. And you know India, those who have gone, India is a country where democracy is not limited to human beings but extended to animals also. Therefore, any animal can walk anywhere, anytime. You can't control it. So, we were going in from Bombay to Pune with my friend. He was driving. And suddenly a big group of buffaloes was crossing the road. So, you have to stop. There is no choice. And they are not in a hurry. Have you seen a buffalo in a hurry? Never. Comfortably going. And not like human being making a crowd, one by one, and you have to wait. He got so annoyed. Swamiji, what is this? I said, this is buffaloes. Why they are here? I said, you go and ask them. I am not a buffalo, I can't reply. Then he said, why these animals are on the road? Why they don't control? I said, look here. Who has a driving license? You or the buffaloes? You have to change in life. First step on spiritual path. Then question comes, who am I? We are two. One is our essential nature. Second is our acquired nature. Essential nature is that which you cannot change. Like burning is the essential nature of fire. You can't change it. Sweetness is the essential nature of the sugar. You can't change it. Acquired nature, the sugar could be cubes, it could be crystals, it could be powder. That can be changed. Sweetness cannot be changed. Exactly the same way, we all have these two natures, essential nature and acquired nature. Essentially, we are divine. There is nobody sinner in this world. Nobody goes to hell. That is our essential nature. Acquired nature, see, acquired nature is, I am rich, I am poor, I am good, I am bad, I am a Hindu, I am Muslim. Acquired nature. By default, we are all divine. Now this acquired nature overpowers our essential nature. See? How simple it is. So what should be the spiritual practice? Do not come under the sway of acquired nature and drop it. Now, what is acquired nature? Take for example, nobody is born with a cigarette in the mouth and a lighter in the hand. Nobody is born. But then the young boy sees on the, what you call, billboard, one useless boy sitting on a useless motorcycle with a cigarette in his mouth, and another useless girl sitting behind him and lighting the cigarette from backside like this. And this boy looks at that. I think that boy is me. I can put the cigarette in the mouth. Only somebody is required to sit behind. Rest of the things are done. goes on imagining, and slowly he starts smoking. First cigarette is smoke with zero experience. Therefore, the smoke comes out from the mouth, from the nose, from the eyes, from the ears, from the whole body. But he doesn't give up. See? Practice, dedication. Then the second cigarette is smoked. And as the number of cigarettes starts increasing, when nth cigarette is smoked, it has got n-1 cigarette smoking experience. And as n-1 approaches infinite, n is equal to n-1. Then, without cigarette, I cannot live. So smoking becomes the acquired nature. And this acquired nature becomes so strong that our divine nature is covered. Now this example you extend. Anger, greed, talking in between when not required, advising others, getting involved in somebody else's life. What others should do, we decide. This is our acquired nature. See, one day I was somewhere in a holy place in India, Badrinath. We were sitting about a dozen of us, and some person unknown to me and unknown to everybody, he just got in and he said, excuse me, excuse me, excuse me. So people thought he knows me. So he came and stood in front of me. I was having a cup of tea. He said, I am so and so, I have got two sons. One is in US, one is in Canada. They are doing very well. I am staying in Delhi, but now I am in a hurry. I am going, thank you, and went away. Nobody asks. Observe how much we talk when it is not required. This is acquired nature. So this acquired nature covers our essential nature. Acquired nature is not only getting involved in somebody else's life, but also acquired nature is talking to oneself all the time. And because of that, the divine nature is covered. See, now once we understand this basic principle, I will take you still deeper. See, first step on the spiritual path, we are not going to get anything. After death you will go to heaven. Those who tell us, they are bluff masters. Those who tell after death we will go to hell, they are super bluff masters. You go nowhere. Because the one who dies is not you. Be attentive. Our childhood body died. What happened to us? Nothing. Then our teenage body died. What happened to us? Nothing. The middle-aged body died. We are the same. Old age body will also die. Nothing will happen to us. Where the childhood body died, did we go to hell or heaven? Nowhere. We don't go anywhere. Coming and going is happening in me. I am the same. We can ask a question. Where is earth? Where is water? Where is fire? Where is air? We cannot ask a question. Where is the space? Everything comes and goes in a space. Space doesn't come and go. Be very attentive. This, from here onward, your real deep spiritual life begins. Be like space. Space is so effortless, supports all the contents, but doesn't get influenced by any content. So, what should be our spiritual practice? Worldly things, their presence or absence, should stop bothering us. This world has always been like this. There is nothing new in this world. These days you have got in South Africa water problem. Alarm everywhere. What is going to happen? What is going to happen? There used to be one great civilization called as Mohenjo-daro Harappa. It was the most prosperous civilization on the banks of Sindhu River. Now what happened to that? The river dried, no water, and the whole civilization was completely wiped out. This has happened in the past. So many civilizations have gone, come and gone. There is nothing new in this world. When I went to Tibet, I was so surprised. Miles and miles, there is a huge desert. Where from the desert has come there? So somewhere the sea must have gone up, everything disappeared, desert remained. See? All the fuel that we fill into your cars, it is the fossil fuel. Our ancestors, great-grandfather, somebody, all of them must have been buried, cooked inside, and fossil fuel is give 5 liters of grandfather. See friends, this world has always been like this. There is nothing new in this world. But we get so much worried and concerned about it. Whatever is to be done, you do and relax, relax, relax. See, like the space, everything happens in the space, space doesn't get disturbed. So, addition or subtraction of anything from the space doesn't make any difference to the space. See? Now once we are convinced of this, I am taking you still deeper, be very attentive. Once we are convinced of this, anything you add to the space, it is not a burden. If things are destroyed, it is not a loss. Space is the space, effortlessly. Now become subjective. Where are all the colors and forms? All colors and forms are in our vision. For a blind person, there are no colors, no forms. Next step. If there are more people here, then what are you now? Will it be a burden for my eyes to see all of them? If all of them go away, there is nobody to see. Will it be a loss to my vision? Like the space. Whether things are added or taken away, it makes no difference to the space. That effortlessness, where addition and subtraction is equal. See friends, then we are going in the right direction. When you are sitting quiet, play this. What it is like being space. No movement. Space doesn't move. The movement begins, world is created. So first we are told, keep your body steady without any movement. When the body becomes steady, the next step automatically happens, or breathing becomes very slow and shallow. Because the body is no more moving, metabolic rate has fallen, oxygen requirement is reduced. Therefore, the depth of breathing and the frequency of breathing is reduced. In Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavan says, Nasabhyantara charinam. The movement of the air is within the nostrils. There are no efforts. As a result of this slow, shallow breathing, the mind automatically cools down. When this is practiced over a period of time, every day, 2-3 times, our acquired nature, called as reacting to everything, commenting on everything, evaluating everything, giving advice to everybody, that acquired nature will cool down. So all the spiritual path is, we have to quieten this acquired nature. When this becomes a firm conviction, then what we will do? Anything that disturbs us, run away. One of the name of Bhagavan Krishna is Ranchod, isn't it? Ranchod means what? The one who ran away from the battlefield. Jarasandha attacked Mathura 17 times. Again, when he came for attacking 18th time, Bhagavan said, hey, enough yara, enough of fighting, let's go. He ran away. Anything that disturbs our mind, protect yourself. Don't get involved in this world. This world has always been like this. If we mean spiritual path. See, friends, it becomes easier, provided we are committed to the cause, that in this very life We are here as human beings only for spiritual evolution. All other things can wait, must wait. Spiritual evolution is the only evolution that is pending in our life. All other things we have done. Ahara, nidra, bhaya, maithurancha. Eating, sleeping, sense of insecurity and procreation. This we have been doing in all lives, animals, everywhere. Having come to the human form, the only priority is this, spiritual evolution. And what is the spiritual evolution? Discover. Discover means remove the covering. What is the covering? Acquired nature. What is covered? Essential nature. How the acquired nature has come? By practice. So what should be the spiritual practice? Undo. Therefore, real spiritual life is not becoming someone extraordinary. Let us drop that extra factor and remain ordinary. Like the space is ordinary. Whether it is in the sanctum sanctorum of a temple or it is in a commode, space is space. Space doesn't become holy or unholy. Like the light. Whether the light is illuminating the Vigraha of the Lords or the light is illuminating the filth in the toilet, the light doesn't get contaminated. In the same manner, nothing in this world touches us. So next time you sit down at home, practice this. No movement. No movement means don't worry what is happening inside the body, whether I am seeing some light or I am seeing... No, don't get carried away by that. Like the space. Don't try to see something. Don't try to experience something. Just being is knowing the truth. The effort and the time required for knowing one's divine self is the effort and time required for a husband to become a man, a wife to become a woman. How much time it takes for the husband to know that he is a man? How much efforts? And what will be the spiritual practice for the husband to know that he is a man? Don't take wife seriously. One day one husband went home and knocked the door, wife opened the door as usual. But today he was different. The moment he entered the house, he lifted his wife in both hands. She said, "What happened to you? Was your satsanga romantic or what?" He said, "No." Then our Maharajji told, "You must carry your burden of life." Don't take life too seriously. Our divine nature is bliss, not blisters. But you see, under this religious disguise, people are so serious, so bitter. See, friends, everybody cannot have the same thing. Vivekananda Swami was asked this question in US in 1893. Why you guys have so many paths, so many gods? See, we, only one God, one day, one path, easy. So he said, your condition is like, you stitch only one size dress for the whole military, same size, and try to fit in the soldier. If somebody is tall, chop his head. See, somebody short, pull him out. Like the uniforms are stitched according to the requirement of the body, so also spiritual practice is according to the individual nature. Somebody is extrovert, somebody is body oriented, somebody is family oriented, somebody is emotion oriented, somebody is intellectual. For everybody the same thing cannot be told. See, friends, therefore depending upon our own makeup, we have to find out. See, if you are able to remain cool and quiet by chanting the Lord's name, continue chanting. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Enjoy. If you are naturally inclined to remain quiet, follow that. If you are naturally inclined to serve the people, do that. All of them will ultimately lead to a state of our mind wherein we are now fully introvert. And those who have done this, like we come across many people. One lady recently somewhere asked me this question. Swamiji, earlier I was doing a lot of japa, puja, pothi, reading and all that. But I don't know, I have not purposely dropped everything. But now I just don't do anything. And a part is, I don't feel bad about it. Everything is just dropped. Then what do? I don't do. I simply sit down, go before the Lord, sit. And there are no agitations. I don't even feel I should take the mala or chant. What is happening? I said, that's a good thing. Go ahead. Whenever the fruit becomes ripened on the tree, it detaches. So is the case. When your puja, pothi, japa, sadhana, karma, when it becomes ripened, you become silent. Be attentive. But this silence is not against the sounds. We will be participating in this world, but will be beyond the world. Like an actor on the stage, he participates in the role that he is playing, but he is no more role. He knows that. So when an actor is crying on the stage and the emotions of the audience are raised because of the story and the pathetic presentation of this makeup, and he is being tortured on the stage. He is crying away, and the audience also starts crying, taking the tissue paper and wiping their tears through the nose. This is the latest fashion. These days, these girls or ladies do not wipe their eyes. On this also people ask us question. Swamiji, you have got tremendous observation. You see, these days ladies, when they cry in public or here and there, they will be taking the tissue paper and simply wipe their nose. Why? I said, because their tears are directed traffic diversion. Through the lacrimal duct, it comes in the eyes, nose, and there is. But why don't they wipe their eyes? I said, what will happen to the artificial eyelashes? They'll come out. See? So when this is happening, what goes on in the mind of that actor? You fools, you are paying really and crying really. I am paid and I am crying fake. It is just a drama. Don't take life seriously. This is what I used to think, that I am very wise, and I used to call my lectures as bluff sessions. One day, you audience gave me the highest wisdom. You know what is that wisdom? You think you are bluffing, but actually we are bluffing. You think we are listening. So neither I am talking nor you are listening. This is Rama Leela, Krishna Leela going on. Nice time pass. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnāt Purnamudacchate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.